So my project is done. I had wrote about 20 songs. And they're all circulating in the van throughout the band members, owners of the band, owners of the group, and we're all just kind of like listening to things. And now I'm looking at, this is the age of independence. So I'm an independent artist who's a first-time artist. Like, this is my debut album. I haven't been an artist ever. I done an instrumental album, and I done maybe a Christmas tune with me just singing on it, but I never done something that was just like me, and I have to do shows, I got to do all this or whatever. So ignorant to a lot, and sometimes that ignorance still shows itself. Like now, where I don't have any, publications, I don't have any notice from publications and things like that because I was in such a bubble when I was releasing my album. So I kind of I'm like the underground, you know what I'm saying? Like I had the street cred, but I didn't have like those publications being like, oh, look at Curt Keyz, he's part of the Charlotte community. Nevertheless, I finished the, I'm looking for a thing now. I'm looking for a thing like, because track listing is important to me. So I'm like, I'm looking for this. I'm like, it needs interludes, it needs this. And, everything just lined up. I finished the record and I seen this artist coming up, Khalid, right? You familiar with Khalid, right? So Khalid, Location was like his big song. But just months before that, maybe a year, he was one of the overnighters. A lot of people don't have overnight careers, but he's one that has an overnight career. He was just a SoundCloud artist, got noticed, and then they signed him. And they put a lot of money into him. And I just remember looking online, and it's a feeling that comes over me because it's like nostalgia. I remember looking on Spotify and seeing that this new artist has a campaign of like 5 different songs. And aesthetically, it was a pattern where he had photo shoots, and I'm like, man, I really need to try to like get my money up, try to do something like this or whatever. But I didn't know where to start. So I'm trying to do everything myself. I'm picking out my clothes. I'm hitting one of my best homies up, like, yo, let's get a photo going, So I'm like, let me just drop one single, and I'm gonna do a 3-single campaign because I only got 10 songs. I'm sure they probably got EP for him, and then an album later, and then another album already ready, you know what I'm saying, like that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. So I did the first single, whatever, photo shoot, everything or whatever, cost a bunch of money, a whole bunch of time, did all the edit myself, did the cover art myself, all of that. Man, it was just independent out here, you know what I'm saying? Didn't know where to start because I didn't have a lot of R&B friends either, you know what I'm saying? Or R&B, like people, I had friends, but just people that are close to me to be like, yo, what's going on or whatever. And I think I can honestly say a lot of people that I know hadn't released music yet. So it was kind of weird, but I got through it anyway. Did a photo shoot, edited, cover art, all that. So I did 3 of those. The first one I did with the photos, all that. Wasn't, oh my God, I hate it. When I look at it, I was like, oh my God, why did you do this? Conceptually it was cool, but it just needed a professional touch that I did not have. I did everything on my phone. I didn't have any graphic design software. Bruh, it was crazy. So, I'm doing that, and I had to go back like 5. I'll never forget going to CD Baby, and they kept rejecting my graphic. They're like, the pixel size, and it ain't the right size, and it ain't the right format. I'm like, yo, how can I get that together? So that's just how hard it was. So I did that for 3 singles. Actually, I did a photo shoot for the first one, and I didn't do no photo shoots for the next. Actually, you know what? I took one of the photos for the photo shoot and did a second single. But that third single, I was like, I'm not doing no more photos. I just did some actual cover art, no photo, and released it. And then I waited, did the album, dropped the album, and I actually had a show, 2 shows before that. My very first show, did that, and did original music. And it was weird because on the open mic scene, they want you to do familiar. They want to be familiar. They want you to do all the popular tunes, R&B tunes, all right? But where I came from off the road, they want you to do originals. You got to be proud of your originals. So I do my first show. I'm doing a bunch of originals. I'm doing pretty much half of my album. and it wasn't many people in there. It was like a last minute like Mother's Day show or something like that, right? So then I do the next show, and it was a lot of people in there, and I do originals, and they loved it. I dropped my album a month later, and then I was going back on the road for 2 months. For 2 whole months, I go back on the road, and I finally get a chance to do my album release. So that's pretty much like the whole thing. And meanwhile, I'm looking at Khalid do 5 singles. When I started preparing to do my single, he had 3 out. He released 2 in that time frame, because I did 1 single in 2017 and 2 in 2018, and then the album in 2018 as well. He did he's from Fort Worth, so he did a promo tour in Fort Worth, Atlanta, New York, and LA. A week went by, then he dropped the whole album. I was like, man, this team is ingenious, you know what I'm saying? It was just, it mesmerized me, you know what I'm saying? Made me really invest in knowing industry, you know what I'm saying? Just a rollout, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But then also made me realize that you need capital. You gotta have bread. That money makes it easier. So that's what I learned with, you know, doing the record myself, and I ended up having to mix the record myself. Dude, I had never mixed anything in my whole life, but my references were how I wanted them. But I was like, whatever. And I never forget, one of the guys in the group, he was like, man, you just mix it yourself. I was like, bro, I don't like doing that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a creator. Like, I'm good with the production part, like producing the vocals or the music, all that, whatever. But mixing, I ended up mastering it myself. Man, bro, it was crazy. You know, that budget, I had no money. You know, so yeah, independent woes, getting that album done, bro. Yeah, getting that album done. So yeah, had my business fixed though. You know, had CD Baby collect the royalties and all that. So yeah.